evening, people of Earth, wherever you are on this crazy rock spinning through space. Welcome to the fucking news. It's not actually the fucking news today. It's easy to report the fucking news, isn't it? Because it's already happened. I mean, how easy is it to have an opinion about shit you already know, that's already happened, and all you have to do is, pass comment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. No, today I'm going to predict my future on planet Earth. I know. It's almost magical, isn't it? To be honest, that's not too difficult either, is it? Because the future will be just like the past. And so I've made a little sort of crib note here, and I'll just skip to the end, right? I'll just skip to the end. The future will be lies, fascism, planet fuck, and slavery, because that's the past. And that's the way we roll here on planet Earth. But, let's be specific. I wouldn't want you to think I'm doing some sort of general, cop-out. Oh, the future will be sunrises and sunsets. That would be too fucking easy, wouldn't it? No. I'm going to give you the skinny. I'm going to cross the T's and dot the I's of your future, near, medium, and long term on planet Earth. And you can hold me to account, and you can look back on this video and go, gee, Deke was prescient, fucking clairvoyant. How did he know? So, America, Donald Trump, and all that jazz. Greenland, for instance. Donald Trump won't have to invade Greenland in a kind of giant D-Day, World War II, Korean War movie kind of way. What Donald Trump will do, or, the junta, the regime that Donald Trump is currently heading, is they'll send more troops there, they'll surround it with ships, they'll make Europe an offer it can't refuse. Because Europeans don't want to pay the bill. They don't want to fight America. That would be hugely costly. But historically speaking, there are loads of precedents for when a very large, powerful neighbor starts to do and want things you don't like. And the first thing that will happen is Europe will just roll over and let its belly be tickled. And it'll make a lot of noise and fuss about it. But at the end of the day, by some kind of means of treaties, leases, and, paperwork, somehow America will come to control and exploit Greenland for whatever it wants. National security, all those resources hidden under the ice, whatever. And if you're lucky, this will happen before Donald Trump dies and J.D. Vance takes over. Because believe me, J.D. Vance is way worse than Donald Trump. Donald Trump, yeah, he has a certain focus, but I don't think it extends, that far. J.D. Vance has a vision, and it's not a nice one. And so I foresee in your future, America, a kind of like growing civil unrest, civil war, if you like. Fascism on the streets, proper on the street fascism, more and more military patrolling and coercing and controlling your daily activities. Go to work, pay your taxes, and shut the fuck up. That's your future in America. Go to work, pay your taxes, shut the fuck up. If you don't like it, don't come to our attention. Don't let us know that you're not enjoying it, because we will fuck you up. It won't be pleasant, and you probably won't enjoy it. But as a very long time ago, somebody sent me a video, and the upshot was, you should be thankful you've got a granite worktop to chop your tomatoes on, America, because the rest of the world live in fucking shoeless poverty, which is propping up your lives of fucking opulence. So the thumbnail for today. The thumbnail for today is the front of this packet of mince pies, infused with cognac, ruby port, and cider for a rich, deep flavor. And that's the future of consumers in America, infused with cognac, port, and rich, deep flavor. Just as long as you go to work, pay your fucking taxes, and shut the fuck up. And in the UK, something similar awaits in the near term, as the populist Reform Party will no doubt come to power on a wave of anti-immigration sentiment. And I don't really care where you stand on the immigration, pro, for, against, the immigration, whatever. You know, the people who run this country, the political class, and the things that go on in this country, we're already another nation of mince pie eating fucking opulence living slaves. We're like really well fed lapdogs. But our food comes from fucking over brown people and continents so far away we don't give a fuck. People who work for a handful of rice and live lives of fucking poverty and slavery, and we don't give a fuck. Just as long as we can have a cognac infused ruby port flavored fucking mince pie. So reform doesn't need a magical new, world settlement or economic policy, because the economic policy and the settled will of the world is already fucking entrenched, pervasive, and global. We will fuck over poor nations and their people for their resources so that the people who pay taxes and prop up our political class in our country can go fucking Hawaiian for mince pies, champagne, salmon, in the supermarket. I'm not even a fucking royalty or the aristocracy. I can drink champagne, eat salmon, and have a cognac flavored ruby port infused mince pie. I'm not even fucking important. Millions of people in this country living high on the fucking hog, thanks to brown people slaving away for a handful of rice. Good. I'll order another guitar and sing you a song. It's my duty to enjoy that shit for the people who are suffering, by the way. I'm not fucking sad about that any more than I'm sad about having stepped on an ant to fetch my coffee from the cup from the baker's. Anyway, so fuck it. It's hard to get these fat cigars going, but once they are going, it's great. This was a present, by the way. I don't buy, big cigars like this. Somebody gave it to me. I'm definitely smoking it. So yeah, there's the short-term future. More of the same by increasingly ugly and desperate politicians who want to be in charge of the planet fucking slavery, to line their own pockets and want you to shut up, fuck up, pay your taxes, and carry on helping them. All right. So far, so good. It's not really a big stretch of fucking clairvoyancy to foresee that, is it, Deke? You're not really fucking, you haven't persuaded me of your magical ability to see the future so far. No. Okay. Climate change. Got your attention? Climate change. I had an exchange this morning with a guy. Climate deniers, or, anthropogenic climate change deniers, are still peddling myths that were dismissed 10 years ago or more. If I hear the fucking one volcano produces more, greenhouse gases than all of human history, it's fucking pish. It's fucking pish. I have not ever met or heard a single objection to the idea that humans have affected the climate that could be supported in any way by basic second-year chemistry. Not once, ever. I keep asking, hey, and if anybody here listening to this wants to post a refutation to the basic premise of how the greenhouse effect works, I'd be fucking amazed. No, all the deniers have got is, Al Gore is rich. They said sea levels were going to rise. They thought there was an ice age in the 70s. It's just pish, right? It's a fact. Humans have altered the atmosphere of planet Earth, and therefore the climate is changing. It's not even fucking complicated. I don't even understand the controversy. I really don't understand the controversy. Even a basic understanding of the chemistry of the internal combustion engine, all right? Just let me try and, give you climate deniers something to chew on. The internal combustion engine consumes oxygen from our atmosphere. That's the shit we breathe. Even if you didn't believe in the greenhouse effect, you might want to be concerned about the 30 billion internal combustion engines sucking in the air we breathe and turning it into exhaust gases, which are the preferred suicide means of failed salesmen. Yeah, like the whole planet's on its way to being a failed. It's a good metaphor, actually. Like, let's take the hose pipe from our consumerism and stick it in the cab of our fucking gilded cages and suck it. Oh, I don't believe humans have affected anything. Oh, yeah, I feel a bit sleepy though. I'm starting to nod off. Boom, you're dead. It was a bad idea. It is a bad idea. It's going to bite us in the ass. I mean, the question is how much, how fast, and do you give a fuck? Isn't it? It's not a question of whether or not humans have affected the atmosphere and therefore the climate. The question is how much, how fast, and do you give a fuck? And following on from that is what are the people who own everything of value on this planet, the few wealthy banking families, what are they going to do about it? So, in the near to medium term, what they're going to try and do is carry on with planet fucking slavery powered by solar panels and fucking wind power and nuclear power and geothermal. And yeah, you know, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm not saying it will work. I'm just saying that, you know, broadly speaking, there's an attempt already underway. You couldn't have failed to notice how much they want you to have an electric car, could you? Or, you know, to recycle your garbage or stop eating burgers or some fucking pish to save the polar bear, who we don't give a fuck about. The polar bear, we fucking 90% of all the fucking big fish in the ocean are already gone. It's only because they don't have a mammalian face that they're not on a fucking poster. Imagine if sharks had big eyes and furry children. Oh, save the shark, save the shark. Well, fuck the shark and fuck the polar bear. Where's my fucking pony? So, in the medium term, climate change will become more apparent, but we will be sold and told to shut the fuck up, pay our taxes, and go back to work in our electric cars, recycle your garbage, stop eating, but you will eat the bugs. In the medium term, your government, my government, and other governments will try to do that. We will fall out with and, you know, have issues with countries that don't get with the program. But eventually, what will happen is we'll have global one world fascist government. That's what's coming. If you're lucky, if you're fucking lucky, that's what's coming. Because the alternative is the president of India and Brazil saying, fuck you and your fucking planet and your fucking clean air and your fucking chance of survival in the next 1,000 years. Fuck you. We're going to go on giving our people washing machines and, you know, replica football shirts. Fuck you. Obviously, a planet of, you know, a planet with modern industrial techno civilization can't allow 200 sovereign nations to do whatever the fuck it wants in the face of the need to reprocess the atmosphere to avert a catastrophe for us all. But what is a catastrophe, Deke? I don't get it. What's the fucking problem? If the sea level rises, I'll just move. Me too. If the sea level rises, I'll just fucking move. I don't see the fucking problem, do you? Oh, wait, I'll tell you the problem. The food chain. And the speed of adaptation. The exchange I had with a climate change denier this morning went like this. Deke, you know, 500,000 million years ago, the planet was much hotter and CO2 levels were much higher in the atmosphere. And therefore, ha ha ha, aren't you stupid? Right, yeah. I mean, it's true. You know, that's a fact. The planet has been hotter and there has been much more CO2 in the atmosphere. We weren't here, though. That's the funny thing about that argument. We weren't here, and we won't be here if that happens again. because we didn't evolve to live there. We evolved to live here. Like, this is where we live. And if you turn the temperature up, and the plankton die in the sea, and the wet bulb temperatures shoot up, killing crops and farmed animals, then we'll start going away in ever larger numbers, thanks to famine and the loss of habitat. Now, how fast? Right, so yeah, in the past there were palm trees at the North Pole, Deke. In the past, the South Pole was a verdant forest. Yeah, how fast can you turn into a fucking palm tree? How fast do you think you and your children can evolve into fucking palm trees? How fucking useful is it to say to me, oh, a million years ago, palm trees were everywhere on planet Earth. It was a lush jungle. I don't live in the fucking jungle. I live on fucking mince pies, cognac infused, ruby port infused fucking luxury goods. The fuck? How fast can you turn into a palm tree? Not that fast. And so the big problem with climate change is the speed of change, not that the climate changed. If the climate changed slowly over 1 million years, no fucking problem. I'll grow fucking pointy ears and gills. I'll go back in the water. I'll eat algae and fucking jellyfish, whatever, man. Fuck it. It's taken 1 million years. I'll adapt. The climate is changing exponentially. I know it's a big word, and a lot of people don't understand the problem with exponential. The problem with exponential is this. One day you go out and you look at your fish pond, and it's half covered in lilies. And it took 6 months to get half covered in lilies. And the next day, it's gone. There's no pond. It's all covered in lilies. Because in those 6 months, it got 1 lily, 2 lilies, 4 lilies. I expect many of you are familiar with the story of the grains of rice on the chessboard, which 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. The exponential change rate is phenomenal. And we're looking down the barrel of the gun of a number of exponential change rates. Ocean temperature is the big one, because this is basically the greenhouse effect is warming the planet. A little bit of science, not too much. I don't really give a fuck if you understand it. You can be a fucking moron if you want. Not my fucking job to educate you or save you, but this is the case. The greenhouse effect is why there is life on planet, because without it, this planet would be a frozen snowball in fucking space. The greenhouse effect is what traps returning infrared energy that would otherwise escape to space and makes this a warm place to live with liquid water. Okay, so far so good. Liquid water, life. No liquid water, no life. All right. Followed by, to counter that, we are liquidly cooled. The amount of water on this planet and the frozen parts of it are what stops that greenhouse effect running away and making this a steam bath sauna with, extremophile bacteria on the arsehole of an undersea volcano. We won't be here. So the balancing act between the greenhouse effect and the liquid cooling is why we're here and why we can continue to be here. And if that balance is shaken up quickly, we will all fuck off and die. Okay, so fascist one world government is coming because if you're lucky, fascist one world government is coming. And you better hope, right? You better hope they've got the smarts, because I'm not convinced at the moment that they can pull our ass out of this fire. I'm not. I mean, maybe not, there's some smart people on the planet. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really care. I won't be here for that party. Neither will you. I mean, even, rapid climate change will take a few hundred years to seriously famine us to fucking extinction. So, fuck it. But that's what's coming. And along the way, this might surprise you, but along the way, what will happen is, because religion never misses an opportunity to get on a fucking gravy train of hijacking your consciousness. Along the way, the climate catastrophe will become hooked up to religious belief. Christianity's already started. The Pope regularly pronounces that climate change is the biggest threat to mankind, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. That's because the Pope wants to put his hand round you while he feels your balls and takes your fucking consciousness away from you. So you think that these religious people are on your side and that they've spotted the danger as well, and that God wants you to save the planet so that you can go on kneeling down in front of the priest who fucks you in the assets. Because religions are really, they're like the thought police of consumerism, capitalism, and empire. Religions don't exist in a vacuum. Religions always exist in parallel, always exist. Large organized religions always exist in parallel to a very large, organized, powerful empire. Mayans, Incas, Aztecs, when we talk about the Norse gods, the Greek gods, the Egyptian gods, the Roman gods, we're talking about empires that came with them. So the fascist one world government of the future will come with a fascist one world government religion. Believe me, it's true. It's coming. Okay, a few asides before I go. Taiwan, Ukraine. China will take Taiwan. Ukraine will be fought to a standstill, and some other kind of like ad hoc settlement will take place where both sides think they've won, and we'll go back to worrying about whose mobile phone contract you've invested in on the stock market. And so the future will be lies, fascism, planet fucking slavery, with larger and larger empires of fascism and religion, because that is the nature of expansion. The history of empire on Earth is the history of bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger empires, bigger and bigger and bigger, until eventually there's only one empire, and it's the fascist global one world government that you hope can figure out how to save our fucking ass from the shit we did in the past. Have a nice day.